Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Peter Glidden with another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Wow is all I can say. How many 91-year-olds do you know that are still politically active? How many 91-year-olds do you know that aren't sitting in wheelchairs drooling? How many 91-year-olds do you know that get up in the morning with the welfare of humanity the first thing that they think about? And not only are they thinking about it, they're taking action about it. You've got to be kidding me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love my job, because I get to hang out with people like Clint Miller, Jonathan Emord, Dr. Joel Wallach, every single solitary longevity distributor of the same caliber. What are we up to? Nothing less than changing the way that medicine is practiced in the United States by showing people the benefits, the unheralded benefits of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. We're dragging people into the light of medical nutrition. That's what it comes down to. For goodness sake, I guess those vitamins don't work, right? Well, take a look at Clinton Miller, 91 years old, sharp as a tack. With his resume and his history, you've got to be kidding me. Ladies and gentlemen, can't wait till tomorrow's show. Tell everybody in your family about it. All right, we got to get back to the meat and potatoes here. Going to go right to the phones now. By the way, 866-582-9933 is the number to call to speak with me live. 855-347-3696 is the podcast number, or the number to call to speak to somebody about the longevity business opportunity and or how to get these nutritional supplements, the stuff we talk about here, at the wholesale price. That's 855-347-3696, and the live call-in number to the show, 866-582-9933, but you knew that. Going right to the phones now. It looks as if Bill is first. Bill, thanks for hanging on. You are live.
Thank you, Dr. Glidden.
You're welcome, Bill. What did you think about Clint Miller?
Oh, that's phenomenal, isn't it?
I know, it's remarkable, isn't it?
I can't believe that it took so long just to pass something through like that.
Well, this is the world that we live in, man. Politics is just a crazy thing, man. Just a crazy thing, man. So how can I help you, Bill? Thanks for the call.
Okay. Well, I have a testimonial, and then I have a couple questions. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now, hold on, Bill, before you give us the goods here.
Okay.
I didn't call you before the show. You didn't. There's no prearranged anything here. This is just you called up live to the show, and I have no idea what you're about to say, right?
That's for sure. The one big reason I'm calling is because I haven't been able to get a call back from your office. I wanted to join and messed it all up in the application, and I have.
Well, we got some bugs to work out here, buddy. But we'll help you as much as we can. So give me the good news, Bill. What got better?
Okay. Well, start off with I had an open heart surgery in 2002 with an 8 bypass, and that started the real trouble. They damaged my diaphragm in the operation, and of course they said you got COPD, and you got congestive heart failure, you got asthma, and they put me on all kinds of medications and what have you, and I've been on 2 different inhalers, albuterol and Symbicort, and I've been on oxygen for a couple years, and I started taking longevity 6 months ago, something like that.
Yep.
And now, no oxygen, no breathers.
William, how old are you, buddy?
I'm 72.
Oh, man. So 72. So that's 1902 so that's when you were 62, you had open heart surgery.
Right.
And you've been on all these meds ever since, more or less?
No, it took me about 4 years to go downhill so bad.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, all right. So, and how long did it, in 6 months you got off all of them?
Right.
And you're breathing again. How do you feel, man? I mean, how do you feel?
I feel like I'm going to live again.
Exactly correct, man. He feels, you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? He feels like he's going to live again. And, you know, what's better than that? There ain't much better than that. All right, keep going, Bill. I'm sitting down, and I got my seatbelt on. What else?
Well, I couldn't go up and down the steps at all. I wouldn't pick up a dollar or bend over, you know. That's how bad it was. And things just started getting a little better and a little better. And I really wasn't able to afford the full blast. But me and the wife got on the longevity together with the diet and the Healthy Start Pack. And we had 2 different ones. But now we're pretty much on the Start Pack, and I've got different things that I take. And I still have a little problem with that diaphragm, and it's still paralyzed. My right side of my diaphragm is paralyzed up.
And that's from the trauma of the surgery, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They said a lot of times that happens. So.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on when nerves are damaged, right? It depends on how far through they're damaged. If the nerve is cut all the way through, I'm not aware of any therapeutic outside of faith healing that's going to make that come back.
Oh.
But if the nerve is only crushed, or if it's just, you know, a little bit frayed, then you can bring it back. I mean, even the spinal cord will recover that. But if it's been a clean cut all the way through, hard to say, right? But one of the things that you can do to move that along and to just keep your fingers crossed and see what happens, is eat more eggs.
Okay.
Because your nerves are made from cholesterol.
Right.
And lots of really good cholesterol in eggs. I would just, you know, for 2-3 months, Bill, I would increase my consumption of food that's high in cholesterol. I'd eat eggs and butter and chicken with the skin, turkey with the skin, rare meat. I mean, I just go cholesterol crazy. Make sure you're salting your food, right? Because that's what we recommend. Right. In addition to the 90, you know, to continuing the Healthy Start Pack. And boy, oh boy, this is just a great story, Bill. I can't tell you.
I'm pretty good gluten-free. I mean, we started with that. And,
I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks, huh?
Oh yeah, sure can. and I have a knee that had the cartilage taken out about 50 years ago, and I still don't have that up to snuff yet. More gluten. I take 7 glutens a day.
Glucogel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, glucose.
Well, in order to regrow cartilage, or rather to support and promote the health of cartilage, you know, if there's been a surgical intervention or if there's an arthritic condition, the recommendation is the more glucogel, the merrier. And, you know, we recommend 1 capsule per 10 pounds of body weight. So how much do you weigh?
185 now.
All right, so in a perfect world, you'd be taking 18 glucogel a day. You'd take 6 with breakfast, 6 with lunch, 6 with dinner. Now, if that's not in the budget, just take as much as you can. And what Dr. Wallach used to recommend before we had glucogel is he'd just recommend people go to the grocery store and get Knox gelatin.
Okay.
Just get Knox gelatin, and you drink a packet full of gelatin a day. Mixed with some warm water, because it's more or less the same stuff. Now, the glucogel encapsulated is actually, it's not the same stuff. It's quite a bit more sophisticated than that, but what the heck, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and there's only so much money in the budget every month, and if that becomes a problem, which it is for everybody ultimately, then becoming a longevity distributor, especially with a story like this, Bill. I mean, especially with a story like this is just really, this is gold for you. So here's what I'm going to recommend you do. You are. So you finally you finally got hooked up.
Yeah.
Who's your immediate upline? Do you know?
Randall Lytle.
All right, good. So you want to lean on Randall to help you figure the business out and figure out how to do it. And if Randall doesn't know how to do it, he'll lean on his upline and so forth and so on. You really want to take advantage of the network here to help you dial in how to show people this message, because there is a way to show this to people that will chase them away from you. Yeah. And there is a way to show it to people that will attract them to you, right?
Right. Well, now I can't keep my mouth shut, so that's changing. So I'll learn to keep my mouth shut a little bit more.
Bill, you're the greatest, man. I so appreciate it. Is there anything else I can do for you?
And no, just have your office call me.
Okay, well, I tell you what. My number, here's what I want you to do. Write this number down right now. It's 855-347-3696. 855-347-3696. Call that number and tell them you need to schedule a visit with me, and they will set it up for you immediately, all right? And I'm sorry that's been a problem. It has been a problem. We had a couple of legal hurdles we had to get over. We've gotten over those. So I'm back in the saddle now, Bill, and I am more than happy to help. So give that number a call, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, for your trust, and thank you so much for calling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't screen calls here. I had no idea what Bill was going to say. I have no idea what anybody's going to say when we pick up the phone and talk to them. We don't screen the calls whatsoever. And this is the beauty of this approach. Because, we never get any bad news. Why don't we ever get any bad news? Well, if you had a little tomato plant that you had forgotten all about, and the poor little thing's on its last legs, and you repot it in good soil and give it miracle grow and good water and good sunlight, the little tomato plant's going to bounce back, right? Well, if a little tiny tomato plant can bounce back, do you think the human body with its magnificence can bounce back? You're darn right it can. And that's all that we do. We don't treat a single solitary disease. All that we do is help people's bodies. We help people to support and promote their innate, natural, God-given ability to fix themselves. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I'm having a lot of fun today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking your calls when we come back. 866-582-9933. Give me a call. I can't stop doing that, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't. It's too good of a song. Right back to the phones now. Looks like Lisa is up next. Lisa, thanks for hanging on. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I was doing that dun 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 thing with you.
I know. It's so catchy, isn't it?
I was cracking up right now, and I'm said, I know he's going to go and answer my call right now while I'm laughing.
That's how we roll here, Lisa. That's how we roll. Hey, so how's it going? What's going on?
Well, it's going pretty good. I have a couple questions, but first I wanted to ask you, have you heard any testimonials about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine helping with depression, just that alone by itself?
Well, I'd have to stretch my memory. What most people experience on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is that their energy comes back. And a lot of people kind of equate lowered energy states with being depressed, right? So kind of around the bend I've heard it, but I can't remember anybody off the top of my head who's been on Prozac or been on Celexa or any prescription medication for depression specifically that's just fixed it with Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Why? Do you know somebody that happened to?
Yeah, me. I was getting ready to go back on my Taxol.
You?
Yeah, me. I was getting ready to go on my Taxol, and then I started taking the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and all of a sudden I just started feeling better. And then I asked my mother, because she has the same problem, and I asked her, and I'm like, are you feeling like you laugh and you smile a little bit more and you just feel, better? And she's like, yeah, I was wondering what that was. And I'm like, I think it's the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I said, I'm going to have to ask Dr. Glidden about that.
Well, you know what? That's an interesting thing to talk about, because I was up in Calgary a couple days ago giving a lecture. We knocked it out of the park in Calgary, man. We had 238 people, and they stayed from
I heard about that.
3 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock at night. I mean, it was like a marathon.
Wow.
But, people are starved for this information. But I had a number of reports of distributors who had hooked their family members up and, next-door neighbors and coworkers and so forth with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And they've been doing it for 3, 4, 5 months. And across the board, every single one of them told me, you know what? the person that I gave this stuff to doesn't really notice it, but they're much happier, they're much more friendly, they're a whole lot less grumpy, they're a whole lot less worried than they used to be, but the change has been so slow and kind of systematic that the person involved wasn't really aware that they used to be, an old grump, and now they're happy-go-lucky again, right? But this is an interesting thing to talk about, and this, I think, is one of the beautiful things about the holistic method, because, we don't need to, do sophisticated, complicated biochemical brain chemistry analysis. For goodness sake, even if we did that, the information that we know about how the brain works and the interrelationship of brain chemicals is an eeny-weeny, teeny-eeny amount. And to think that we could have some type of positive interaction in that domain, quite frankly, is human egotistical hubris. And, if I want to put my money on something, I'm putting on holistic medicine 100% of the time. So you go, girl. I'm going to put that one in the record books as a depression testimonial.
And it's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah, isn't that something? I know, right? Yeah. Well, if it's only been 3 weeks now, the best is yet to come, I've got to tell you. So all you need to do... Now, have you done the diet? Have you dialed in the diet yet?
I'm starting to work it in slowly, but yeah, so everything is kind of coming together right now.
Okay, good. So this is an important thing to consider, because moving forward, if you continue with the vitamin discipline and the nutritional supplement discipline, which I'm sure that you will, when you add the diet on top of it, it's hard to imagine, but in fact, everything gets better. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Boom, it flames up. Everything gets brighter and hotter, and everything gets better here. So do a good job dialing in the diet. And, let's be realistic. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but once you crest that learning curve, once you learn what to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and how to shop with gluten-free and the other 9 foods to avoid, life gets better and better.
The hardest part. Okay, so let me ask you what I really called you about real quick. Okay, so I have a really good friend of mine, and she has tumors in both of her lungs. She's had it for years. It's a rare disease, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's DIPNECH. DIPNECH? Yeah, are we going to commercial?
Yeah, we are, actually. So they let you hear the music, too. You got to love that. Yeah, stick around with me, Lisa. We're up against a hard break. When we come back, I'll finish up with you and help you figure all this out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having fun today. You know we are. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. We're coming right back. Hey, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your host of Fire Your MD Now. Check out the website of the same name, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the Longevity tab right there in the menu and join our merry band of men and women and help us spread our message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. And now we're talking to Lisa about this rare pulmonary lung condition called DIPNEC, which is a fancy schmancy doctor acronym talk for diffuse idiopathic pulmonary neuroendocrine cell hyperplasia. How about that for a mouthful? What that means is there are these little cells in the lungs called neuroendocrine cells, and there's too many of them, and idiopathic means they were diagnosed by an MD. No, I'm only kidding. Idiopathic means we don't know what caused it. So it's this rare disorder, and nobody has a clue. The medical community is clueless about what causes this. They're clueless about how to treat it, which shouldn't surprise us, because they don't even know what causes high blood pressure. They don't even know what causes heartburn. They have no idea what causes arthritis. If they did, they could fix it. We fix these things. We have a handle on what causes these things. For goodness sake, you have to be a moron not to. But in any event, so this is a really weird condition here, I've got to tell you. But the good news is, when we are faced with weird diagnoses, what do? Do we, like the MDs, scurry to find $100 million so that we can research it And then once we research it, we can develop a drug to throw at it that's just going to suppress symptoms and manage symptoms and then create hundreds of side effects into the bargain. No, we're not going to do that. It's nonsense. What we're going to do is lean on our fundamental foundation belief that the human body knows how to fix itself and that the human body wants to fix itself. And given its stead, most of the time the human body will fix itself. So because this condition focuses on the lungs specifically, the recommendation here would be to support and promote the health of the lungs. And how do we do that? Well, a good place to start would be with one anti-aging healthy start pack per month. One anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. One extra bottle of essential fatty acids, and I would give in this case the EFAs at the 180 count. One bottle of the EFA 180. And I would do as much Z-Radical as this person can afford. I'd do 8 bottles a month if she can afford it. If she can't do that, do 7 or do 6 or do 5 or do 4 or whatever's in the budget. But the foundation here has to be present. We want to do an anti-aging healthy start pack, the selenium, and an extra essential fatty acid per, body weight per month. And then on top of that, add the Z-Radical. And, of course, don't neglect the diet. Nobody gets off that train for free. Everybody has to be on the diet, eliminating the 10 bad foods. And then you just keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. Now, in peculiar cases like this, quite frankly, in all chronic disease cases, when someone's had something for more than 6 months, the recommendation here initially is to give the program 90 days. So dial in the dietary change, dial in the supplements that are inside of the budget for 90 days, and look to see if you get a leg up on anything. If you do get a leg up on something, then just maintain the discipline until your body has bounced back as far as it is going to come. That's how I would handle that, Lisa. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Anything else I can help you with? Yeah.
Yep. You're not leaving me that quick. Okay, one more thing. I actually have 2 people. I have one has advanced degenerative disc disease, and another one has degenerative arthritis in the spine.
Yeah, well, so both of these are, complete and utter failures of conventional medicine. And this is just an amazing phenomenon to me, right? I mean, it's an amazing phenomenon. I have no idea why this happens, but people put up with this stuff, and, they think it's their fault. I mean, if you bought a brand new condo, right? You bought a condo, and you're living in the condo for 6 months, and the plumbing went south, or the roof caved in, or you discovered mold, in the bathroom, you would sue the person that built it, right? Because that's unacceptable. And someone has to take responsibility for that. Someone has to pay for that. It's not your fault. Somebody else's fault. And, we have to take responsibility for our actions here. Nobody holds the medical community's feet to the fire, because they have convinced us through 100 years of manipulation, socialization, culturalization, say that 10 times fast, that, pathogenesis of disease is a complicated, sophisticated, mysterious smoke and mirrors thing that takes billions of dollars of research and the Star Trek tricorder that hasn't been invented yet to figure out. So when people come down with chronic diseases, they go to their MD, when what they should do is fire their MD, because if their MD was doing their job appropriately, they never would have gotten the illness in the first place. But people don't place the blame where blame is due. And they continue to give hard-earned money for medical insurance premiums to the wrong people. And then when they get an illness, they go to the MD. The MD's got nothing for them. They've got nothing for them. They've got nothing for them. They keep giving them medical insurance premiums. They've got nothing for them. And then they finally call me. They finally go to an acupuncturist. They finally go to a chiropractor. They finally, as in desperation, right? It's nonsense why we put up with this type of Machiavellian medical mediocrity. It's a mystery to me. Lisa, if you ever figure it out, let me know. So in both of these cases, right, what we're attempting to do is support and promote the health of the bones and the joints and the ligaments. And that's a relatively easy thing to do. The recommendation, 1 healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Now, if there's no pain, if pain is not a predominant thing, you don't have to do the healthy bone and joint pack, because the healthy bone and joint pack has CM cream in it. And we use CM cream topically in the case of pain. We use it to manage and dampen down pain and inflammation. So if pain is present, then you can use the healthy bone and joint pack. If pain is not present, you don't need that. So in any event, it's either 1 healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, or if pain is not present, 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and then glucogel sufficient to the cause. And what we recommend is 1 capsule of glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if they're 200 pounds, they get 20 glucogel a day. If they're 150 pounds, they get 15 glucogel a day, and you divide those doses out. So if it's 15, 5 with breakfast, 5 with lunch, 5 with dinner, whatever. So you've got the healthy bone and joint pack and extra glucogel, or the healthy start pack and glucogel. The next thing is selenium. Your body needs selenium to put down to help the ligaments and tendons heal. So the recommendation, 1 bottle per 50 pounds of body weight per month, not to exceed more than 4 bottles a month. And that's all that these people need. That's it. Now, if there's heartburn, you give extra calcium. Might not be a bad idea, if it's in the budget, to give both of these people 1 extra bottle of calcium a month, because you can't really overdo it with calcium, and the bones and the ligaments and the joints need it in the face of these 2 diagnoses. So you can always give an extra bottle of calcium. And my favorite in that regard is the Cal Toddy, the Super Life Cal Toddy, and that's dosed at 1 ounce per 100 pounds of body weight per day. So that's it. You got the healthy bone and joint pack. If there's pain present, you've got extra glucogel, you've got the selenium, and you've got the extra calcium if necessary, plus elimination of the 10 bad foods. I love helping people with arthritis, because when we support and promote the health of bones and joints, you get remarkable results pretty quickly. There should be a noticeable change within 21 days here that then builds on itself. But remember, as we're filling the nutritional tank up, we must stop eating food that's punching holes in the bottom of that tank so the nutrients don't run out before they get into the blood. And how do we do that? By eliminating the 10 bad foods. All right, Lisa, you go, girl. I've given you enough to chew on for a couple days here. Take that to the bank, why don't you? See how it goes. Thank you for what you do. As it turns out, you are the last best hope your friends and family members and church members and community members have to live healthy and wealthy lives. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for the call. Thomas from Houston, Texas is up next with a question about gluten intolerance. Hey, Thomas, thanks for the call.
How are you doing?
Good.
Quick question. If you, first of all, I watched that presentation you did on gluten, good food, bad food, is very good.
Oh, thank you very much.
My question is, if you're not absorbing the products due to the damage done to the small intestines from heavy consumption of gluten, which I've done, is it more cost effective to not consume the products and just focus more on healing the small intestines? That way you'll get more bang for your buck.
Well, you got to do both. I mean, that's a very good question, and you have a lot of background noise there, so thank you so much for the call. Yeah, you got to do both, right? And here's the deal. If the intestinal villi were completely destroyed, you wouldn't be alive, because your body would not be able to absorb anything, and without anything, you would die, right? You can only last 3 days without food. So if the intestinal villi were 100% compromised, you'd be dead. Because you're still alive, it means that the intestinal villi some of them are still intact, and some of them are doing their job. So our approach is twofold all the time. We want to stop punching ourselves in the arm, right? I mean, if you came to me complaining that you had a big black and blue in your arm, and you couldn't bend it anymore, well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is to stop punching yourself in that part of your arm 10 times a day. So we have to stop eating the food that's causing the problem. That's mandatory Everybody has to do that, especially you. Or especially somebody, with a definitive diagnosis of celiac disease. So that's mandatory. And number two, the other thing that we do is every day, all of the time, give the body the nutritional support that it needs in order to fix itself. And so, if you can only absorb 10% of what you take, then that's better than nothing. And what's going to happen is 2 weeks from now, you'll be able to absorb 15%. And 4 weeks from now, you'll be able to absorb 20% and so forth and so on. And I just made those numbers up, by the way, but that's how it goes. As the intestinal milieu heals itself, it's able to absorb more and more and more and more and more and more. So one strategy that you can do to kind of help this up front when there's a lot of damage has been done and you're really kind of dangling by a thread is you can calculate the total daily dose that you need and divide it up into 5 or 6 doses. So if you need 2 ounces of the white liquid calcium a day, take 1/4 ounce 8 times a day. Or if you need 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, take 1/4 scoop 8 times a day, right? Because when you dilute the dosage of whatever it is and spread it out more over the course of a day rather than taking it in big chunks, you increase the ability of your body to absorb it. And that's smart. That's a good way to do it for the first 3 months. Actually, the only thing that's a problem with that is not a lot of people have enough discipline to pull that off. But if you can, that's a good way to do it, which makes you the smartest man in class. Thomas from Houston. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. This is Fire Your MD Now. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. We're going to go right to the phones. We have time for one more call. Mike from California with a question about ulcers. Hey, Mike. Thanks for the call.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, okay. I got several questions about either ulcers or ulcerative colitis. I haven't been diagnosed. I don't really believe in the, conventional mainline medical system, so I have not done the endoscopy or the colonoscopy, but I think I may have ulcers. I have like a burning sensation in my lower abdomen. And it's for about a couple years now.
All right. So, you've had it for a couple of years. When you have a bowel movement, is it red or is it black like coffee grounds or not?
No, it's not.
Okay. And since you've had the pain, is the pain modified by eating or drinking? Does the pain get worse or get better if you eat or drink anything?
With food, it tends to get worse. It tends to develop more acid, and it cools down with cold liquid.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, you're right. This is a tough thing to diagnose, but lucky for you, we don't really need to, and we're not in the habit of diagnosing stuff over the phone anyway. So, what the recommendation here would be, whether it's ulcers or ulcerative colitis or irritable bowel or celiac disease, or whether it's just feeling funky in the gut, the recommendation is the same because we're not really, treating ulcers or ulcerative colitis. We're treating Mike from California, and what we're doing is supporting Mike from California's, your body's ability to fix itself. And how do we do that? Well, number one, you have to stop eating food that's coming up to work, so you have to eliminate the 10 bad foods. And you can get that list for free by signing up for my newsletter on the front page of my website, fireyourmdnow.com. So go there, do that, sign up for the newsletter, and you get the good food, bad food list for free. All right, number one. Number 10, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Just stop eating them. Number two, the recommendation is 1 healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of Maquis Plus, M-A-Q, like Queen, M-A-Q-U-I Plus, per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of Root Beer Belly, or 1 box of Root Beer Belly per month. Now, the Root Beer Belly is probiotic powder in enterically coated little capsules. It's kind of it's similar to the Pop Rocks we used to eat as kids, and it tastes exactly like those old-fashioned root beer popsicles, exactly like that. The recommendation here to support and promote the health of your gut is to put 1 packet of Root Beer Belly on your tongue once a day. Between meals is best. once a day between meals. You're going to love how it tastes. You can even do that immediately before bed if you want. The recommendation for the Maquis Plus is 1 ounce twice a day. 1 ounce of the Maquis Plus twice a day. That has aloe vera in it, and aloe vera is extremely healing and soothing to the intestinal environment. It's the same stuff you put on burns, external burns. It's nice and soothing for external burns. Well, it's very nice and soothing for internal inflammation. And the Healthy Start Pack, the Healthy Digestion Pack, has the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Osteo FX Plus liquid calcium, and the essential fatty acids, which gives your body all 90 essential nutrients that it needs in order to fix itself. And it has 1 extra bottle of digestive enzymes because, interestingly enough, if it is in fact an ulcer in the stomach, one of the main causes of ulcers in the stomach is stomach acid that's too weak. Stomach acid that's too weak causes or allows little microorganisms to grow in the stomach that shouldn't be there, and they're what causes the ulcer. It's not anything else. So when you increase the acidity of the stomach acid, the stomach ulcer goes away, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but that's how it works. And the 90 essential nutrients also, when given in the form of the Healthy Digestion Pack, will, as it supports the health of digestion. Digestive health is like a series of dominoes. And when each of those dominoes are in place, everything happens nicely the way that nature intended it to. And when that happens, the body starts to heal itself effectively and efficiently. So eliminate the 10 bad foods. Do 1 Healthy Digestion Pack for 100 pounds of body weight per month, and take the Maquis Plus as an extra add-on. Do that for 90 days, Mike, 90 days, and see what happens, see how it goes. Give me a call back with a progress report every 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll help you to dial this in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're keeping it up. We're keeping this ball rolling. Clinton Miller is back tomorrow. Don't miss it. Until then, I remain your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden, over and out. Thank you so much for listening.